exceptionally windy and cool down there. The temperature dropped as well. Here's the start list for the second of 3 races. Reece Drury there, Kai Hurst, Sam Hamilton, Kendrick Louis, Zane Holmes, Wesberg. Zane Holmes looked really relaxed on the beach after that first race. Tom Atkinson, as we flip the page to see the continuation of the start list.
Yeah, well, Eckstein and Poole neck and neck there, right next to each other. Day as well. Clayton, Jones, Clayton will be after a better result. Corey Hill is in the 13th position as well. And we go through to Hugh Doherty. He's in there. Trent Martin, Trembath, Tanner Linden, I thought was surprised with.
And happy
went
birthday
quite well.
to him. It's his 20th birthday today, so he wanted me to make it clear he's not 21. Everyone's making him older than he is. He's 20 today. Kane Eckstein at 19, Mitchy Miller and Alex Tibbetts rounding it out.
Teenager no more.
Down on the water's edge as they're finishing, Phil Clayton made the comment that he took a couple of really big mouthfuls of water during his race and had a massive stitch in the back end of that race, so he was struggling just a little bit.
That's Andrew Book, the race referee, getting the guys ready to start. You'll see they're standing next to their skis, and Andrew Book, the race referee, will be waiting for a clean start. He'll be waiting for the water to be nice and smooth for all the 21 competitors in the men's to get a fair start.
This is race number 2 of 3 here at Portsea.
Okay, mate.
Anxious moments on the ski when you hang on to it. I remember in the day with the short break at Portsea, it's always very, very nerve-wracking to make sure you've got a good start. And out of all the legs, Nicole, this is the one that could cause you the most grief.
Just about set for a start here. That little shore break has moved away a bit now with the tide and the wind, and they're off. In the second race at Portsea, it's a wonderful scene. 21 powerful units. It's almost like those skis have got engines on the back.
Yeah, well, they get off at a very, very fast pace, but it is really important to get out clean through the break. And there's one of the signs there that we have down the beach, but it's a pretty clean start. No one actually came off at the start, Nicole. Nice and neat, and there's a nice row of ski paddlers going out to sea.
And I actually think I heard the chief referee say, I'm glad I got that one away cleanly. So it is a nice start, but still there are some tricky conditions out there getting through. There is Shannon Eckstein in the grey, paddling out nicely.
Well, Ali Day on the top of the screen there, he is in first place. He is in the blue. He is leading them out. Then on the right-hand side, we have a competitor also in line with Ali Day. So there's the two. I don't know who the person on the right is, but Ali Day in the middle. He's got the blue singlet. He's up there. On the left-hand side of the screen in the all yellow is Kai Hurst. So Kai Hurst is in probably the top 3, top 4, Howie, and sitting nicely as well.
So the order for this second race is ski, board, swim. So we will finish with Kai Hurst's strength last. So important for him to make sure that he doesn't give too much away in the first couple of legs. That's Alex Tibbetts just heading his way out. And that actually may be Alex Tibbetts out onto the top of the screen.
Well, I went training with Alex Tibbetts only about 4 weeks ago in the Michael King squad. I was up there on the Sunshine Coast.
How did you go, mate?
Not as good as Alex Tibbetts these days, but also Ali Day was in the group, and Kendrick Louis, and also Matty Poole. So what a tough group to go and train with.
But you looked good, and that was the most important
Nicky,
thing.
I tried my hardest.
Ali Day's made the move up to Queensland, and he is showing some wonderful form. He had a bit of a stress fracture where he was in a moon boot for 10 weeks. He said it was the most frustrating point of his career, but he's in good nick now, Trevor Hendy.
He is in good nick now. I tell you what, I'm sitting out here, I keep referring to the conditions because it's changing constantly. The wind is blowing straight into the beach now. So Leachy made the comment before that the swell looked like it had been flattened out a little bit by the wind. And I think it did do that, Leachy. And what it's done now, given another 10, 15 minutes to blow, the swells are starting to really get in behind it. So you're going to see a lot of movement in this ski leg.
Well, Trev, I'm just looking, we're looking on screen now. Kendrick Louis has actually come through the field. And the youngster, the kid from Collaroy who's moved up to Mooloolaba and trains with Michael King up there in the super squad, has gone past the whole field. Ali Day's going after him. Kai Hurst sitting in behind him with Shannon Eckstein. The kid's on fire.
Oh, Kendrick looked fantastic in that first race. We saw it in the trial, we saw it in the first round, we saw it in the first race today. It's starting to get to the point now where we need to expect it from him constantly, because he is a bit of a superstar in the making. It's funny, these skis, you know, there's not a lot of fiberglass in them when you put it all over, but together they look pretty flimsy, but they're actually quite strong. And when you look at them paddling out, they are powering through these chops. Each time the nose comes down, they're splitting a big gap through the chops. and 3 feet later there's another chop right behind it. The whole field looks really strong.
Trevor, it looks quite cold out there in the lifeguard tower where we are.
How many layers do you have on, Trevor Hendy? Are you becoming soft? You've got about 5 layers on.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. That's well picked.
You're nearly as big as one of those boys out to sea.
I don't care how soft I look.
And your camerawoman Mel is doing a wonderful job out there capturing these images as they go around the buoy. That's the first buoy in the ski leg, opening leg of this second race.
Well, we saw in round 1 the Red Bull memorable moment went to Hayley Bader in the women's race. Phil Clayton took it out in the men's race in round 1. Now round 2 today, Courtney Hancock is eligible now for the $5,000 first place as a Red Bull memorable moment for her great effort in that second race, getting smashed on the ski and then coming through and taking the day.
That's the one that the commentary team voted on, right?
That's the one that we voted on, Nick.
Okay, brilliant. I agree with you.
Well,
absolutely.
Hugh Doherty is in the middle of the field. He's had a reasonably tough start to the year. He was right amongst the action in recent times, but he's had some problems at Portsea, Hugh Doherty, and he's had some problems with his equipment as well.
Lowest points in my career, I guess, just from last series. I think that race down at Portsea. You know, I was going pretty well last season, and to have that one bad result really hurt me in terms of the overall point score. And you know, I went from being a chance to winning to not being a chance to winning the series. So that was probably one of the lower points during my series.
It certainly was tough here last year for Hugh Doherty, and pretty tough for these boys at the moment. Shannon Eckstein trying to move on to a little runner. Ali Day as well. Plenty to come from Portsea. The conditions are wild. The men are tough. This is the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series. Welcome back to Portsea Beach. It's southern Victoria, and these are now southern Victorian conditions. Shannon Eckstein looks like he's trying to get on to a little runner, and the field are assembling behind him. There's waves coming everywhere. Guy Leach is standing up in the commentary box.
Well, I tell you what, Shannon Eckstein's gone over to the right-hand side where those rock shelf are, and you'll see that come into the screen pretty soon. But he's caught that right out the back, and he's going to take that all the way in. Ali Day next to him. There's Kendrick Louis, but Shannon Eckstein has made his mark. He's come back through the field, and you know what? He's won this thing 5 times. He's doing a hell of a job.
You can see that rock shelf. Trevor Hendy nearly went straight through the middle of it there in the Red Bull jet ski. And that is a beautiful move. You can see the rocks. The tides are dropping. You need to watch out for those.
In the first position there, it's Kendrick Louis that's leading it out, isn't it? No, Ali Day.
Well, no, Ali Day's in second spot. So we saw Shannon Eckstein come through, but we'll see as they get up the beach here.
I think Kendrick's going to come off this ski first.
Yeah, well, you're right. So on screen, Shannon Eckstein's come through on a wave to move up into about 3rd position, but Kendrick Louis has held his spot and coming through in 1st place. That is a fabulous effort from Kendrick Louis. Ali Day, all part of the Michael King squad at Mooloolaba, in 2nd place and doing a hell of a job too.
Guy, without getting too carried away, Shannon Eckstein's still right up there. Are we seeing a changing of the guard in the Ironman series?
Well, I've got to say, and Trevor will have comment on this, I'm sure too, but it is the beginning, I think. I think it's the beginning of the new era coming through. Shannon's been around a long time, and that's no disrespect to him. But Matt Poole's up there. Mitch Miller's up there. Kendrick Louis is leading. You've got Ali Day up there as well. Things are starting to change.
Tommy Atkinson in 3rd position as well. Hugh Doherty in 4th. Shannon Eckstein back in 5th.
And we've not seen Kane Eckstein yet. Just to point that out, he is the series leader. He won in Surfers Paradise. We've not seen him yet.
He just doesn't seem to like these shorter course sprint events, does he?
No, it's not. Doesn't seem like it's his thing. He's an endurance animal. The longer the race goes, the better it goes for him. Also, when you train in Queensland and you're very, very lean like he is, and there's Kane Eckstein who we're speaking about on screen with the orange board, you know what? The cold water doesn't affect you. They're up in 24, 25 degree water temperature. They come down here, it's like 17 degree water temperature with the wind chill factor on top of that, Nick. That knocks you around. Yeah, well, Kai Hurst, I think, hasn't recovered quite so well so far in this second race. As we see the ticker come through on the positions of this race, Shannon Eckstein in 5th, but I think Kai is in around about 12th, so he really struggled around there, and Kane Eckstein in about 17th. Which puts Kendrick Louis in a very, very nice position after that second position in the first race. He's currently leading this. It's an accumulator situation, 3 races in total, and you add up your points, and that is how we determine the winner, as a few of the boys are getting into trouble. Matty Poole punches through it. He's had to roll over, actually, Howie, and get back on the board, and that takes up a lot of effort doing that, and that's Hugh Doherty in front of him. But you know what? The last leg is swim. and you don't want to have Kai Hurst behind you swimming you down, which is exactly what he's going to do. So he's still in touch. He's not that far back. And because of that, we see him on the yellow in the top right-hand end of the screen. And Kai Hurst is still in touch with a swim leg to go. And there he is right there to go and come back.
What type of lead, distance-wise, would Kai Hurst be able to give the leader and expect to still be right in the mids?
At a stretch, he could pull back 40 metres. Right. At a stretch. But I'd put my house on he could pull 25 metres back.
It depends on the run of the break, doesn't it? If Kendrick Louis is still leading coming into the swim, if he gets out clearly, and it's a timing thing, it's a cyclic thing with the waves,
getting out won't matter on the swim. They'll all get out the same pace. It'll be coming in, cracking away. But I'll say this. I think he could give the field 30 metres into the wave area, not counting what happens in the waves. On the way out and back in. Trev, what do you think? I reckon there's 30 metres that Kai Hurst could pull back on any one of these guys' tyre.
That is Kai Hurst in the yellow there with the white cap, sitting right in behind Phil Clayton. So he's not doing too bad there as well, Phil Clayton. Corey Hill is there as well. And it's fairly bunched, that second group. Whilst we say that Kai's in 12th, it's pretty close. It's pretty bunched. And
that's why Kai's still in a good position. He's had a first place in race 1. He's sitting in that bunched up area. It doesn't really matter that you've got 3 or 4 guys in front of you. Actually, it's an advantage going out because that wind blowing in, it just means that you're in a position where you can actually hide behind that chop out and get a rest on the way out.
So Kendrick Lewis is out in front. He's doing absolutely beautifully at the moment. He finished in 4th position in the first round at Surfers Paradise. Thank you, Nicole. He's finished 2nd in the first race here, and he currently leads the field. And he's just starting to stretch them out a bit. Ali Day is right up there after his podium in the first round. But there is still a long way to go here. It's a 12.5 kilometre event. And we've still got plenty of the board and the swim to go in this second of 3 races as they approach the buoy.
Well, that gap is starting to be narrowed by Ali Day, up on his knees, really working hard, whilst Kendrick Louis down on the belly, just getting into some nice stroking there. All down on the belly around the buoy, the first of the boys, first of 3.
Shannon Eckstein next, and there's Matt Poult's coming behind him. Trev, how are they looking? Who looks the most comfortable out there at you're right on that turn?
Well, that was actually Hugh Doherty in 2nd place, Leachy. And he looked really, really strong. He just reeled in Kendrick Louis coming into the can. And I'm sure he's pretty upset after the first round. And he doesn't like to be forgotten. I'm pretty sure he's going to try and win this one. Shannon Eckstein looked pretty strong. I'm not really sure about Kai Hurst. He looked a little bit, he's sort of up and down a little bit there. I'm not sure if he might have been feeling the cold a little bit, but as you say, he could probably give him 30 metres in the swim. Unless they're really on fire, he'll probably catch him.
I think, and also talk about good swimmers when they're tired at the back end of an Ironman race, Trev, and Phil Clayton's the other one in the field who's the standout when everyone else is tired and they're having to do a hard swim. He's the other one that can pull 25 or 30 metres, and he was sitting in front of Kai Hurst in a nice position as well.
You read my mind, Leachy. Phil Clayton looked pretty good then. Wasn't quite as jovial as he was in the first round up in Surfers Paradise, but looking really strong on the board. He is such a good board paddler, former world and Australian board race champion, and so he might actually catch up a couple of places here and then set himself up for a strong swim lead to finish.
Well, certainly this race is not like the first race that we had, Howie, and you know, you're talking about Kai Hurst being way out in front. This race is anyone's at the minute.
Well, Wesberg doing his best in the middle of the field. He's up to 6th position. He said he was like Santa Claus over the Christmas break, delivering Wesberg boards left, right and centre on the Gold Coast. And he's probably the most experienced athlete out here today.
It's a petrifying place. Don't get me wrong, I'm scared of it. Everyone's scared of it. But the coolest thing about Portsea is when you do get out and you look over your shoulder and you see everyone else behind you. That's the coolest feeling. The sensation that you know that you actually had the skill to sit there and take what everyone else is taking, but to actually be able to get out. That's what I find inspiring and thrilling for me.
Well, he's got that right, and I'll tell you what, anyone that says otherwise is kidding themselves. As Ali Day screams down a wave. Shannon Eckstein sitting on the right-hand side of him in the silver singlet. So these guys are looking good. They're out in front. They've gone down next to that rock shelf called Huey's, and that rock shelf is pulling up a nice wave for the competitors as the tide drops down to low. And there's the field. There's the pack coming through in equal 3rd position. And Nick, it's still a very tight race.
Yeah, it is a very tight race with one leg to go, and it's the leg that certainly is, if these conditions do continue to be challenging, it really does drain you, the swim. So it's a tough one to finish with as the boys do their little 80-metre run around in a horseshoe shape, then straight back into the swim. Let's see this second group. They're now the chasing pack, and who, in fact, is in this one.
At the moment, there's Tom Atkinson on the left. He's coming up, the big fella. He's about 6'4", going through.
That was Kendrick Louis coming through there.
Kendrick Louis. So Ali Day's up in front with Shannon Eckstein. There's Kai Hurst standing up on his board again in the yellow. So there's Zane Holmes next to him coming up the beach. So Kai Hurst is there. We've spoken about him and how well he swims.
He's given away 20 seconds, do you reckon?
I think 20 seconds he can pull back that. So I don't think it's over. Although Ali Day's swimming very well, and so Shannon Eckstein. So let's not forget that these other guys are fabulous swimmers. But Kai Hurst is going to the Olympic Games for endurance swimming, and he's probably one of the best top 3 in the world at that. So put that into surf, and he's the best in the world.
So heading down the beach, you see the boys really scouting out into the water to see where the best run is, see where they want to go.
Ali Day leads Shannon Eckstein. Wonderful board leg by Shannon. Really moved himself up the field. Tommy Atkinson in 3rd position, the man from Queenscliff. Kendrick Lewis dropped back to 4th. Now Wesleyberg, we just heard from him, in 5th. And Matt Poole, who had a good 3rd in the first race, he's in 6th position. So at the moment, overall, it's Poole and Kendrick Lewis who are putting themselves right amongst the big points.
Well, Hayden, you were down there as they're coming around. How did it look? Did you see anything that showed that someone looked stronger than someone else?
Yeah, Leachy, mate, I'm down here on the beach. The boys, it's tough work out there. That wind's really picked up. This sport, people don't realise how intense it is. It's full on, it's hard work. I'm talking to Troy here from Surf Life Physio. He's the series physio. Troy, Mitch Miller, he's not doing too well out there today. He's right back in the pack. Can you tell us what's up?
Yeah, he's got a little strain in the middle of his back. So when it comes to taking a deep breath, he struggles and he can't rotate when he's on the ski as well, or even in the water swimming. So it's hard work and it's technical conditions, so it makes it really tough for him.
Very, very technical out there today with that wind. And these guys, it really shows. They're super athletes. They're working super hard. You know how it is out there, Leachy. It's a tough sport.
Yeah, you don't want to go into any event, but particularly Portsea, Nick, with any injuries, and this is not the day to do that. With this sort of chopping you get throwing around, having back problems and shoulder problems is not the way to go. And there's Kai Hurst on screen. So he's the one we've been talking about.
He's gone wider than the boys.
The best ocean swimmer in the world, this guy, and just a fabulous technician compared to anyone in this sport. Probably the greatest surf swimmer of all time, up there with Craig Riddington. And he is going to have a crack at these guys. Shannon Eckstein now has pulled a gap on Ali Day. So Shannon Eckstein, but there's Kai Hurst on the left-hand side of the screen, and he is having a red-hot go at them. This is unbelievable. There was a 20-second gap. Howie, it must be down to about 10 seconds. He's pulled 10 seconds in that shorter period of time.
He certainly has narrowed the gap. Is it like yachting, Leachy, where if someone tacks, you can tack with them to cover them, or does everyone just go at their own rate and can't really see that Kai's taken a different route?
That's a really good question. With ocean swimming, you don't want to let the other guy get onto your feet. So why he's gone wide is he wants to go and slip past Shannon Eckstein and Ali Day without them jumping on his feet, which into the chop, as you know, Nick, is a massive advantage, sitting on someone's feet and letting them cop the chop. Really good question.
About time. It's taken me 8 rounds to come up with one, Leachy.
You're on fire, Howie.
Plenty more to come here at the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series. You just heard Guy Leach talking about Kai Hurst, who is carving his way through the field. He's won the first race. He's catching them in the second race. Tough conditions at Portsea. And there's plenty still to come. 1.5 races to go. Can Kai Hurst, the king of the ocean, reel them in? Kai Hurst hit the water in 10th position at the start of this swim leg. He was 22 seconds behind. As Guy Leach so expertly explained, he took a different route, and now 19.5 minutes in there, he has hit the front again.
Yeah, well, even by my reckoning, he's caught them quicker than what I thought. That was fabulous effort. But why he went wide was he wanted to not get Shannon Eckstein or Ali Day on his feet. And Shannon's doing everything he can now, fighting tooth and nail to stay in there with him, because he can get that little bit of drag off the back of him. And what Kai Hurst is trying to do is get rid of them before he gets into that wave area, so he can have the first pick, Howie, of the wave and push clear. So Kai Hurst can do that, winning the first race and then getting this next one. He is set up beautifully. There's the gap. So now he's done it. He's pulled down that little bit of swell, a bit of wind, and he's got enough of a gap now to get into that wave area in first place. And now it comes down to the lap of the gods. Is a wave going to appear on that bank and push him into the shore?
Stunning turnaround by Kai Hurst. He won the first race. He looked like he was in the middle of the field, and as the great Trevor Hendy said, he looked like he was struggling, little Kai Hurst. Well, he had us all fooled. He's now out in front. He's got about 2 body lengths on Shannon Eckstein. You can see Ali Day there in the middle of shot in the blue. He's hanging on as well. But as Guy says, it all depends on which swells come through, when they come through, and who they help. And the waves are just starting to build out the back as well.
Harry's not over yet by any means. They're coming to that area now where it gets shallow and those swells pick up. And we're looking at the back now. You can see at the back of the screen that they're turning over on the back. There is waves coming through now. This could change the whole complexion of this race. There's one of the competitors straight. That's Matty Poole. Matty Poole's cracked up about the back. That is a massive play in this race. There's Kai Hurst on the front of the next wave. So, Kai Hurst, you genius.
Kai Hurst has held on to the front of that wave, but there's a competitor out to the right of him, right on Kai's tail. There's 2 men on the one wave, 45 metres off the beach.
It's got through, Harry, so whoever that is. Oh, that's Phil Clayton.
Phil Clayton has
come from the clouds, you freak, Phil Clayton. Unbelievable.
4 wins here, 2 second places. He said to you there wasn't enough waves for him to get through. He has come from 14th position. And Phil Clayton at this stage could be the first to hit the beach. In fact, he will be.
We haven't mentioned him the whole race. He has not been cited. Where did he come from? That is unbelievable. This kid is a magician, an absolute magician at Portsea. Phil Clayton, you are a freak.
35 years of age. He's been here 6 times for 4 wins and a couple of seconds. He said he's returning to the sport because his son's hero was Kai Hurst. Well, his son's hero will once again be Phil Clayton. Have a look at this. He's come from nowhere. Phil Clayton has tore them apart and won the second race at Portsea in front of Kai Hurst. And that is one of the more amazing performances you will ever see.
Matty Poole in 3rd spot. So Matty Poole's had 2 thirds. Kai Hurst a 1st and a 2nd. Phil Clayton, I don't know what to say.
I cannot wait.
He was not even on screen. He wasn't in there.
Cannot wait to hear Nicole's interview. She will no doubt grab Phil Clayton in front of Kai Hurst, Matt Poole, Ali Day in 4th, Shannon Eckstein in 5th. Nicole, I've seen some things. That was right up there.
Phil Clayton, where the bloody hell did you come from?
I got no idea. That was hilarious. I had a pretty bad start and just thought, stick to my guns and keep going, and I got on Kai's feet on the way out. And then I got a bomb. I got a bomb right through and ended up holding it a little bit further than anyone else.
Everyone's been talking about your age. How young do you feel right at this very minute?
Every bit of 35. I don't feel young. I'm puffing, I got a stitch, I feel terrible, but I'm having a great time, so that's the main thing.
Now, you talked about your daughter's birthday, you talked about doing something special. You just beaten Kai.
I did. Shy, that one's for you. Happy birthday.
Well done, Clado. Go recover.
What a wonderful interview by Nicole Livingston down there on the beach, and just a wonderful moment for Phil Clayton. Happy birthday to his daughter. His son's got a new #1 hero, and that's his dad, Leachy. It's absolutely a beautiful thing.
I've seen some good ones down here in 25 years of racing. There's Mitch Miller coming up the beach. He's had a better race this time round. I've seen Trevor Hendy do things that have been unbelievable. A guy called Jonathan Crowe won race, but let me tell you, Phil Clayton then just, that's up there.
Nicole.
Yeah, Kai Hurst now. Kai, fantastic second race, beaten by a bloke that's had a fair bit to do with your career. I guess you're happy about that?
Absolutely. I was body surfing in. I had this really weird feeling. Phil was next to me, and yeah, obviously he was. He ended up, he's a master in this kind of conditions, so it's great to see him up front.
But importantly, a win and a second place, so it sets you up beautifully for this third race. How are you feeling, though?
Yeah, feeling all right. I felt the cold a little bit before as I was sitting down, but I just got to keep moving. I'll change vests. Took my vest off, get a new one on, and one more. That's all we got. So, you know, hopefully I can be as consistent as I was in those 2.
Keep moving, get warm. Thanks.
Well, we need to take another look at that wave from the heavens. Leachy, Kai Hurst, and you can see the bald scon of Phil Clayton. He's got the head down, and he's
on the inside, on the left-hand side. So everyone else fell off, and it came through. It was a wave behind that then came through to the next wave. And that was the one that Kai Hurst picked up. You'll see him turn there. So Phil Clayton turned to the right because he could feel that he was actually, that was where you needed to go. And that was the push that got him in front of Kai Hurst. Genius.
Nicole's with Kane Eckstein now.
Well, Kane Eckstein just putting on a jacket, trying to stay warm. You're moving yourself up nicely. The first one, you said that you're a slow starter when it came to these sprint races. Do you feel like you're warming yourself into it now?
Well, I wouldn't say. I just had terrible luck on that ski. I just got flogged at the start and I was just last. I just had a bad run. I think the black Dead set the black singlet's got a curse on it. Probably worst day of racing I've ever had.
So between now and the next race, I mean, obviously it's about positions and how high up you can finish in today's race day, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of thought about that after the first race, and that second race I just jumped on the ski, got hit from there, and I was last straight away. So I don't know, I just want to get through today and go and have a shower.
Well, hopefully the black jersey curse doesn't hit you for this race. Go cool down, get ready.
Well done, Nicole. He certainly calls it as he sees it. Kane Eckstein, a disappointed man at the other end of the emotion scale. Phil Clayton wins the second race at Portsea. One race to come. Could the fairy tale continue and Phil win the round? Plenty more to come after the break. Kai Hurst will have something to say about that. The results from race 2. Phil Clayton in front of Kai Hurst. I still can't believe that. Matty Poole, Ali Day, congratulations. He's had a very good day. Shannon Eckstein in 5th. Louis and Doherty moving into the next 8 positions. And there's some very, very nice performers in there. Wesley Berg, Zane Holmes, Reece Drury, Corey Jones. A relatively tough day after a big success up in Surfers Paradise. Kane Eckstein, we heard from him back in 14th position. And rounding out is Martin, Corey Hill, Lyndon and Thomas Trenbath. Well, the competitors have been struggling with the conditions, but I think